Hi guys, I wanted to record a quick sneak peek. What do you get when you enroll into Animation for Social Media, which is an online program I created for animators, how to win on social media, whether that's building their online IP, crowdfunding, or just building their personal brand. So if you're coming from Instagram, then you can just click on this link in my bio and it will lead you straight to this Google form. And basically, it says what can you expect as a result out of this program. Mostly, we are focusing during the 4 weeks on the strategy for animators. So that means what should you even post to achieve the result that you're after. And then we are just focusing on creating that content to give you the goals you're after and my support on that road. So once you fill all this out, I'm going to see if we are the right fit. And then if we are, you're going to get a PayPal link. And immediately once the payment is processed, you'll get access to the lessons. The reason why there are two packages here. So first one, intro, 750 euros, is for you to give you a comprehensive intro into what the hell should you even do on social media and how do you start creating and build your campaign content. So kind of to alleviate that stress of not knowing where to start and what should you even do. And then the master 12-week program is for the people who don't want to take that knowledge and implement it on their own, but I actually want to have my support ongoing and apply what they learn in the intro program. So once you enroll, you're going to get a Google access to this Google folder. And there are basically three folders here. The first one is Start Here. Here I'm just explaining how can you best use this program and some of the most frequent questions past participants had. And in the second module, you have 7 lessons. 7 is the resources that I'm giving you, but the 6 main lessons. In the first one, I'm basically covering what should you post. So this is your strategy. So I covered what should you post when you're promoting your project. So if you want to do crowdfunding for your short film or indie game or any type of project that you want to promote on social media, what should you post if you're after clients or if you're developing an animated IP or if you're offering animation services. So if you are teaching or doing any type of digital products, or maybe selling digital prints or any of that sort. So I covered all the bases, and you can even mix and match if you want to do, I don't know, 80% clients, but then maybe 20% your animated IP. So you can definitely see a mix of both strategy, and you can see what's best for you. Then the second most important module is about now you know what to post, how do you even package that, what are some of the proven formats that are best suited for animators, how can you optimize your time from the point of some formats are going to be super easy to consume and make, but others are going to be more high intensity. It's going to require more scripting and more knowledge about storytelling and the whole art form of a short form video. So here I covered some of the most common formats for animators, then formats for animated IPs, that's very different, and ultimately answering some of the common frequent questions I had from the previous cohorts, and how can you again blend that with LinkedIn as well. Ultimately, here in the posting schedule, we are defining, now that you know what and how to post, now we are looking at how your week might look like and how do you actually combine those two and optimize really a flow and a strategy so your viewers are actually experiencing a gamut of both topics, but also formats and styles from you, because you will have a different type of audience in your community and on your profile. Some people will be more suited for text, some people will be more suited for video, and depending on what your sensibilities are when creating content, it's good to test everything and see what is best suited for you, but also for your audience. I'm also talking about separately about animators, separately about animated IPs, and separately when it comes to animation services. So all of these 4 modules, I'm again covering those 3 or 4 bases. Animators looking for clients or promoting their projects, animators building their IP, and animators monetizing through their services, digital products. Yeah, those are the main 2. Understanding your audience, this is a big one. Here I'm covering why that matters. That's actually one of the most important thing. And then again, I'm also covering what does that mean for people who are looking for clients, for people who are looking to attract animation students. What does it mean to understand your audience when you're doing a passion project and how your content changes according to that? And ultimately, how should you develop your IP with your audience in real time? And the last module, the 5th module, not the last, but second to last, is a module about different monetization models and which one do you want to opt out for. And here I'm covering the difference between low and high ticket offers and which one should you choose? How often should you sell or promote your product? Here I'm covering the crowdfunding strategy you should go for. And here I'm providing an example how I do this with my own products. And the 6th biggest module. So this is actually, so all of these 5 is something I recorded especially and only for the 3rd cohort of this program. And the 6th module is what I had in the first 2 cohorts of animation for social media. So here I was heavily focusing on storytelling for social media for animated content. So here I'm covering some of the evergreen storytelling principles when it comes to animation content. And here I'm providing all the examples, going through some of the basic storytelling, how do I call it, pillars. How to come up with ideas. Here I'm talking about how should you optimize your animation, whether that's a demo reel, whether you're starting an animation shot from scratch in terms of hooks, how should you start your shot, how long should it be, how should you keep retention or attention of the viewer throughout your videos, what are some of the common formats that go well when it comes to animated content, then how to choose your rigs when it comes to marketing, how should you look at rigs from marketing perspective. Then here I'm covering some of the ways to increase your reach, demo reel for social media, common formats for animators. This is basically a little bit of extended module of this module, how to package it, format for animators. So let me just go back to it. Here I'm going through some of the case studies, some of the successful IPs already on socials, and what can you learn from them, and what is something they're doing well, and what is something they're not doing well in terms of performance specifically, and how can you take that for your own IP. Sorry, so here I also have analytics and algorithms. So how should you even look at your analytics and what metrics matter, what don't? There's a lot. Personal branding for animators. So here I basically covered how should you optimize your profile both on Instagram, LinkedIn and Instagram in terms of how should client even find you, so you're searchable and so your profile is clear to a potential client or to your audience who lands on your page. This is also this is also a new module that I recorded for a 2nd cohort, my video process. So here I completely broke down how I create some of my most viral videos when I was promoting my short film, and how I basically optimize my content. So today it doesn't take me more than 2 or 3 hours per week to create content. So my whole B-roll system, my equipment, how I go from ideation to a final content piece. And here, so so we have 4 Zoom calls, and in between the calls, participants have support via Discord channel, and I can show you. So here's how that looks. So in between the calls, you can ask any questions, shoot your videos for feedback or carousels, and I here provide you a really in-depth feedback. Sometimes I don't write it, I actually record it, and I leave that here in a separate folder so you can watch how does that look for people from the previous cohorts. And there was a lot of them here, but I reduced it because I realized there is already a ton of videos to see here. And that's regarding the lessons that you get that are pre-recorded, but then you also get Zoom calls from previous cohort to see before you even enroll, to see what type of questions people are asking, because some of them you're already going to find the answer to what you're asking. Some of them are already evergreen. And based on a lot of these questions, I basically recorded all these 5 new modules so we don't have to go through them again on our Zoom calls. So you actually get a lot more prepared when you come to Zoom. And if this feels already overwhelming, and if you're wondering, do I have to watch all of this to learn content? The answer, of course, is no. You can watch the very first module that calls to you and apply immediately what you learned there. The reason why there's so much material, because I know there are different type of learners, and some people like to listen to a lot of materials so they can sink in the knowledge and before they actually apply anything. And there are also the type of learners who are like, oh no, tell me what to do immediately. I'm just gonna go and do it. So depending on what type of learner are you, I had some people who told me that 21 hours, although now it's even more, so it's like 30 hours of lessons, which is crazy. You definitely don't need to watch all of that to get the result that you are after. But I had some people who told me, oh, this is like too little. So, and then some people told me that's too much. So it depends, really. It's up to you to consume it however you like. But the point is, take what you get, what you need. You don't need to watch the lessons that are not applicable to you, or that you already know how to do. So the reason why there is a 4-week package and a 12-week package is because I noticed that students and animators are usually super fired up during those 4 initial weeks. They usually create a lot and they're super passionate and enthusiastic, and everyone is kind of hyped up by the group and the whole energy from the program. However, when the program ends, I oftentimes see animators stop posting. They lose that momentum and that enthusiasm to continue going and to actually achieve the result they enrolled for. So that's why I offered an extended version of this program, basically a 12-week program where in the 4-week you get all the how. And then for the next 8 weeks, you actually get to implement all that. Of course, if you are already experienced creator and you already know some of the content fundamentals, as you saw, you can start getting feedback and bring your videos from day one, and you can definitely use the 4 weeks for that. But for some people who are more new to it, they will take more time to get the ball rolling and start creating content. So that's why I see a benefit for having an extended support for people who actually want to fund their film, build a really good brand for themselves, attract clients, or monetize through other means. Hope this gives you a little bit of a glimpse how this looks like when you enroll. And if I didn't cover anything, feel free to ask me in the comments or shoot me a message on Instagram or LinkedIn. And so our first Zoom call is on May 30th, and I'll see you there, I guess. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video as well. Bye.